Okay, all right. Get it together, everyone. Where do we leave off? Hmm. I want some whiskey. Mm-hmm. Ah, they're raining. Oh, it's raining. Yep. Suddenly it's storming. I like it. Oh, hey there, pop star. Welcome. Oh, hey there. Uh, excuse me. Sorry. Dang, it's coming down. Hello, Booms. Shimu got fancy. Yes. Yes, she did. The fanciest. Excuse me. I think my matte cap texture is a little too strong. I'll push it down just a little. All right. Looking pretty good. It is raining really hard right now. So sudden. Kind of nice though. All right, claws look good. They could be a little bit shinier. Actually, these ones are messed up here. Hmm. These are all a little messed up. What's the dealio? not have the same material. Hmm. Just right here. I wonder if I accidentally assigned it incorrectly with my texture. I mean, this one looks fine to me. Maybe I haven't. It should be the most updated one. Hmm. Strange. Should have the same UV map. It should look the same. I was on Smat as soon as I get my Norton subscription back. I have EXE. Well, good. I hope it's a good fit for you. It's definitely a little different. I prefer it over Blender texturing, but I don't know. Substance. It's hard to give up substance. Something's weird. These are weird. Why aren't they working? These ones are black, but then these ones aren't. Oh. Oh, okay. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. It is the mirror modifier using. Gotta call Best Buy to see how much a subscription costs. A subscription for Norton? I think there's some, well, I don't know. There's should be some good options out there. I'm gonna say I hate Adobe. Fair? There we go. There we go. Now it's working. It should be shiny too. Ooh, I'm sleepy. Still not shiny. Ah, I haven't exported this, have I? Bevel's been turned off the horns. Hello, Yamoroi. Yamoroi. Welcome. Give him a slight iridescence. A little bit of color in there. A little too strong. 10's probably good. Cool. Good stuff. They need some shadows. The actual horns here do need some shadowing. So let's go ahead and take these. Start this one. And what we need to do is unwrap them, which is going to take a little bit doing. That one's weird. Here. This one's strange. I guess I could get rid of the bevel and just mark them sharp. A little different now, isn't it? Where is that? Hello, Nammers. Welcome. Oh, I see. The weighted normals is overriding it. Might as well just do that. I might as well just do that. It looks the same, and I get to save a ton of. Yeah. Yeah, I should. Otherwise, it's going to be too much. Really doesn't look that different either. Yeah, that's barely any different. How's it going? It's going well. Look at Shimo. Got a lot of pieces coming together now. She's looking super good. More to do, more stuff to figure out, but I'm not super well. Ooh. Ooh. We're not too far off from optimal amount of verts. Not too far off. When did you make the base of the avatar? Everything is from scratch. I have taken the time to make like a template for myself, but it is a template that I made. A lot of my avatars start from it, but I do prefer the from scratch approach. It's just more fun, honestly. The jacket's really the densest part of the character. A lot of these still need to be marked sharp. Still at 71,000. Not too far from where to be. I really have to look at the jacket as want to dissolve. Have to. Hello, Zubox. Welcome. Long time without seeing you here. I'm usually streaming, but definitely been a while since you dropped by. Happy to see you again. We're making a character. Making an avatar here. I think we're gonna take this section. We're gonna dissolve half of it. I think we got it. That will give me more than enough. Doesn't look too different. Not everything's dissolvable. That actually probably worked in my favor. Okay, good. We're under now. That looks pretty good actually. That doesn't look much different at all. Nice. All right, we're well. Is there anything else? Wait, I need to add some spikes on this part. I think that's about it. Yeah. All right, that should be everything. Let's go ahead and close the mouth character. That would be here. Just gonna focus on the body for a moment. Already rigged. I did that a few weeks ago actually. I start with a base avatar um, that already has some rigging. I'm going to be doing some attaching clothes and doing some other rigging. But for the most part, the body itself was already done. Ugh. Even that tail rigging always gives me trouble since you have to make that by hand. I use the gradient tool for tails. Makes quick work of it. In fact, I can do that right now because I need to rig it. Or is it already rigged? That's already rigged. I'll take the horns. And let's go ahead and we're going to start cleaning this up, getting rid of older things. We're going to call this merging. Verillion, an add-on to it. I don't think there's add-ons for AutoRig Pro. I'm not sure what Verillion is, to be honest. Love tail rig and ARP. I think it makes things pretty straightforward. Next question is, well, you said that made quick work of the tail rig. Was it another add-on? Oh no, sorry, I said weight. The gradient tool. So when you're doing weight painting, when you're doing tails or any other object where you can kind of view it from one direction, the gradient tool is great because I can just go ahead and grab, let's say, this section, then use my gradient to kind of just paint in that influence just by dragging. And that's what I do for tails because it really does tend to give kind of the smoothest results. Looks like we could still get some work done on this one. Now we're going to take this, transfer the weights from the tail to our tail horn, or horns, spikes. Always seems way too big. It sweeps over the mesh. I think people in VRChat really like oversized tails. It tends to be the style. Right. That looks good. All right. Ooh, I'm full. I ate a lot of ice cream for lunch. The teeth are already rigged. Perfect. These little spikes are not. All right, there's the main body. And let's see how the eyes transfer. So we got these objects. This one's still got a subdivision on it. A weld. Don't need a weld. I think we just do all three. Control J, transfer, and then parent with empty groups. You know what? I take that back. I think we had the groups already. Yeah. Okay. You can just combine directly with the body. Same with the eyes. They can also be combined directly. These cannot. These can. These can as well. This can be combined with the tail. The teeth cannot be combined. So we'll call this one body. It's like these objects. And we'll call these body unmirrored. There we go. Okay, so I think the body's basically done. Now we're going to switch the type of exporting we're doing to AutoRig Pro. And dang it, keep doing that. I keep hitting, accidentally hitting Control Alt. I keep saving as incremental, which I suppose isn't bad, but it's a little annoying. I just prefer my own incremental style of saving. Oh, we want to take the character, set the character name, Now we will auto rig pro export humanoid fix rig. Don't need to export twist. Don't need any animations just yet. We do want these two. All right. Hello, Mr. Potatoes 28. Welcome. We're making a character right now. Interesting. I suppose the tail didn't have a material. I'll have to give it one. I'm doing well, doing well. We're in the process of making this avatar. About to do some testing with her. Teaching this avatar? Not quite sure what you mean. You already nailed the process? Well, thank you. We're learning. We're learning. There's no end to learning with this kind of stuff, but I appreciate you saying that. Always something new. Always something surprising. Cascador for animals? Probably won't be. Ooh, the breasts are definitely busted. Probably won't be, are we missing the breastbones? I think we are. And the eyelashes. So we've done Blender. I really want to do more animation in VR. That'd be so much fun. I forget to name these properly. Yes. Okay. Should be working. And then the eyelash. Looks like we're missing some weights for that one, so I'll delete all the weights. Delete all groups. Then go to, oh, excuse me, transfer, and then reparent with the groups. So now, I don't see anything getting removed. VRChat does have some procedural animation stuff because it needs it for matching your body position. Use the IK system. There we go. Yeah, there's a program called MoCap Fusion VR. And you can do like multiplayer motion capture sessions in virtual reality. That'd be super fun. Mocap, I think, will get a lot cheaper as time goes on. I wouldn't be surprised to see the future of like VR motion capture just be a camera, like a webcam. I don't think you'll need to buy trackers in 5 years, 2 years. You shouldn't need to. I really think you shouldn't need to. Whether that happens, I suppose we'll have to wait and see. All right, she looks good. That's some fizz bones. I don't think I made her thigh fizz bone, so we'll have to add that. I also want to go to her arm twist bone here and make sure we mark this as a custom bone. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to export all the other twist bones. But if I use this option, turn off export twist, get rid of all the other ones, I want that one. I want that one twist bone. So we're going to work with it. Cascador also has a virtual motion capture, like a webcam to motion capture option nowadays. Tried that a while back. It was kind of slow, but pretty cool. I've tried Cascador. It's insanely good for all the in-betweens. It is. It really is. All right, this should be the major bones. So let's take a while to move all the meshes through all different programs. Gave me such a pain with the scale. Yeah. I think there's a bridge somewhere. I haven't really looked into it. We got Blender bridge. Fine. Darn. We'll just delete these two for now. All right. Cool. Okay. That's pretty close. Let's see. Do we want a tail or a floor collider? Might as well. Focus on the tail first. Use a little more movement. That's too much. That looks good. Midsection looks a little weird. See what's going on there. That all looks good. We'll do an angle limit set to 90. It should give us a very large limit, but will prevent it from wrapping all the way around. So let's copy that component, paste the values, and now let's focus on the breasts. Breasts. Booba. Not a lot of jiggle right now. You need something like this. All right, that looks pretty good. Perhaps a little exaggerated. It looks like there's some shearing on the bottom. That's the texture shearing. See if I can fix that up with some better baking. Overall, that looks good though. I think we just turn it down, or so it's not over the top. And then of course we should add an angle limit of like 60. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. Not crazy. The jiggle independently affected by gravity inside VRChat, whichever effect you place in Unity, transferable. So each different bone chain can have its own gravity, if that's what you're asking. All right. Pretty good. Darn. I should separate the horns. Because if we're going to be transferring the weighting to the clothing, it'll get in the way. Right, if what you place the number here is locked in for VRC, you can alter it independently inside the worlds VRChat has. Unfortunately, the settings for Fizzbones are locked in as soon as you enter a session. There's some workarounds, but they're kind of hacky. They don't always work. All right, pretty cleaned up now. Saw 8,000 now, 87,000. Something in here does not belong. 87,000. It's probably. That doesn't seem right. Something is wrong here. I guess that's pretty even. Not there then. Excuse me. I mean, these are pretty dense. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, we can, darn. I wish I had, let's back up till I get to meshing that. Ooh, just barely. My undo history was just about to run out. Okay, so belt spikes. These should be dissolved right here. Yeah. And all these. All these. Like that. How much does that save? There's something floating around here that should not be. Hmm. Gotcha. Shit. Okay, good. Look how close that is. 69,924. Pat myself on the back for that one. Less than 100 triangles away. Oh, well, good. We also got these, which I don't need. All right, even more. All right, we're actually doing really good then. Sunglasses time. Yeah. Oh. All right, let's do this one at a time. So first, I will do this one. We're gonna do turn the rig. Take the rig. Set it to. It's made some shades with the remaining tries, low poly style. Take this one, set, and transfer the weights. And then parent with empty groups. Oh, that worked really well. Yeah. I can very heartily recommend the robust weight transfer. If anyone has not used it, it is very good. Very, very good. It has saved me a lot of time already. And then we will transfer and combine these up. And then apply the mirror. Or not apply the mirror. Apply the weighted normal. Apply the weighted normal. Very good stuff. Oh, we missed one. Does not like that for some reason. Why doesn't it like this one? A plus 1 is greater than the number of points. I don't know. Interesting. Let's do body then. Yeah, transfer. So problem. So it's this object that's the problem for some reason. It's just this. Okay. Well. And I just complimented you, robust weight transfer, and you betray me. Betrayal. And then we can combine. Good stuff. All right. Now, let's take all these items. Combine them. This will be the skirt. And for this one, we do want to use the deformed result. Okay, that did not work. And that's because the body is not mirrored. We're going to apply the mirror. Yeah, we're going to apply the mirror. Apply. Oh, we'll get rid of the shape key first. Apply the mirror. Apply the weld. Get rid of the double triangulate. Select again. Transfer again. Yeah, very good stuff. That genuinely saves me a ton of time. Usually transferring weight paints, even with the other add-on I'd really liked, mesh data transfer, it was not that easy. So we're going to take the bodysuit, jacket. Actually, let's hide the rig really quick. So these items right here, I will combine with the bodysuit after applying the mirror. Those will all go there. Should apply the weighted normal. These. And these should be fine. Okay. There we go. Then transfer. Oh, hmm. So it didn't want, no, it gave me the mod. Okay, so you can't transfer weights to multiple selections. It's just one at a time. That really makes quick work of it. Nice. Looks like I just missed just a few things. These right here. Apply the weighted normal. Transfer. And then parent empty groups. And then apply the mirror. Nice. Gorgeous. Gotta give it a research. Distracted. Okay. What else? Missed that collar. Alrighty. I don't see any objects getting left behind. Excuse me. Ooh. And we can combine these directly with the body now. Same with the back spikes. Super cool seeing this outfit come together. Thank you, Nammers. Thank you. I had some good help. Good starting point. Certainly sped up a lot of this work. I think I would still have another day or two otherwise. Oh, I should have double checked the name on everything. Good. Good. Oh, sorry. What is still missing? We need to create a lot of logic for the actual VRChat side of things. So it's not enough to just make the models. We have to integrate it into the game engine. So we need to create some toggles to turn things on and off. And plus there's more, we still have a decent budget when it comes to triangles. So there's a few things that are missing, like the attachment point for these buckles here. And I think just a few minor details like that to get the heels working. Oh, you know what? And that's the other thing too, the heels. So it's a good thing we have that budget for triangles because we will be adding some shoes to it. Excuse me. But we're doing pretty good. Doing very good, honestly. Make an empty called VRC theory dash Shima. You already texture her. Most of her body is textured. Kind of real close though. As we do, as we do. I'm gonna save that. We got another hour of work. And all right, so we're gonna do some object toggles, and we'll start with body slash tail. Let's take the tail and put it right there. Not placed on an avatar, or we're missing our avatar descriptor. And we just keep going with our toggles. Then we'll do clothing slash. Copy this. And then continue. Jacket. We'll go from the top to the bottom. Jacket, shirt. Undershirt. Actually, skirt. Then undershirt. Do you have a time limit on these? Hope it's not a tight deadline. I usually have 2 to 3 weeks. I think it's taken a bit longer than that because I was traveling one of those weeks. So I did not get to work. And moving forward, I'm probably going to be saying 3 to 4 weeks. So I think that's a little more reasonable. But I try to keep it on around a month, under a month. We've got a lot more to take care of this week too. we're going to be kind of rushing through a few other not rushing through, but we're going to be putting the grind on. Time off the curse of the dev. All right. Now we've added all these toggles. It's raining again. And we're going to add a gesture emulator. Whoa. Suppose I should have some of these objects default on. So we're missing half the horns. So make sure that these are default on. Let's go back to Blender. Select the horns. Separate these ones. Hit them with the mirror mod. Apply. And then recombine. Like, did I miss something? Ah, it probably has that shape key on it still, yeah. Which is why it didn't work before. There we go. Shiny. All right. So now we can toggle all the items. We can toggle the tail. When the tail is on, we also want it to turn on the tail object. We'll have off by default. Well, no, I take that back. We need a whole nother toggle for it, actually. We would want another component. So I'll move up top. Here. And we'll say body, tail, floor, collider. There we go. All right. Say a little DN for review. Take a look. Let's take a little look-see. Interesting. think the fabric's extremely well the leather work. Make some temporary leather straps and MD just for the folds. I want the fabric, then I'm going to remove the blend and replace it with simple 70 curved straps for you to work with. That sounds good. I think it'd be the easiest method for you to detail the leather. Here's a drawing. Danny did a leather. Oh, well, thank you, Danny. Interesting. The image is transparent, I think. Very cool. Very, very cool. That sounds totally fine to me. I think that'll work super well. They were separating out all the individual pieces for me. Super helpful. It's supposed to look like that, though. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. No, I just mean, I think it has a PNG transparency. So when I click on it, I can see the outfit for a moment. Maybe just my monitor is blowing out the image. Those arms. Fix that. You seen the leggings? Come sit down. Oh. Oh, and then of course I forgot to default those on. All right. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. We got another hour. Then we'll be calling it for today. Things are looking super good. Accidentally just almost closed OBS. Oopsies. What are our stats looking like? Awesome. Medium. Medium. We're at medium. Face looks really good. Very soft looking. I think I found my method to make things look soft like that. Yeah, I know how to do it now. Okay. just going to check the performance ranks really quick. So, what are we up against? Ugh. When it comes to material slots, we can have 16. So does this mean that if I have 16 material slots, does that mean that a single slot more puts me over? Let's check. Easy way to check. We've got the tail, and we need the body on this anyway. Well, we'll actually need the tail. Good. Okay. Did it not export? I think that did not export, or I sent it to the wrong spot or something. So I should have 2 material slots on the tail now. $32 materials? Oh, dang. Both of those there. It's rigged, should be exporting. Should see 2 material slots on here. I guess. Oh, I know why. It's because the tail is not actually assigned to anything. And then we want to invert and assign the horns to the other one. Have the slots. We haven't actually added them. Okay, we're right at 16. This one says 32 for poor. We're good on 16 for medium. So I think we're right on the edge of medium right now when it comes to materials. All right, awesome. Let's see how the fizz bones hold up with the clothing. Good. The bottom of the jacket moves a little bit too much, I think. And we're obviously getting some clipping on the breast. It looks a little odd right there. Something about it's like sharp. Huh. All right. It's raining still. Ooh. I love the rain. Hello, Novoraptor. You make Fizzbone for the hanging belt. For this section, definitely. I don't think I'll want the chain to move. Maybe a little. We definitely have a lot more options with our fizz bones. We have 16 components we could add. We're not even halfway there, so it's a lot more components we could add. Head's looking super good. Also, hello, Nova Raptor. Hope you're having a good day. That looks really good. So, one difficulty we always encounter with breasts, especially large breasts, is that the bones rotate. What's preferable is that the bones, each breastbone, just move up and to the side. The difficulty is that they can also rotate this way or the other way, whatever. And this creates a shear in the middle, right there. So it'll pretty much anything in this little space here, right in the middle, in the cleavage, will clip. So I think that change movement would be cool, even if they move just a little bit. I agree. I think we get added just a few bones towards the end. It'd be nice to get that extra movement. So let's see, what options do we have? If we go to Unity, for each breastbone, what I could do is actually lower the amount of rotation it's possible for the lower breastbone to do. Or even just for the yaw. Let's see, what does that look like? Problem there is that if they move in opposite directions, it will stretch materials and weights. You're always going to be able to manually break a bone. There's no way to account for every direction. But generally, we're just trying to prevent this lateral side-to-side movement from getting this clipping. You can see that the clothing does poke through for a little bit there. It's a little hard to see, but it is happening. So I don't think we can do that by completely eliminating the yaw or by eliminating this. What we could do, we transfer to taking care of that. Weight transfer just attaches things to the bones. If the bones themselves have rotations that break, then it won't fix that, because it's the way the bones are that makes the issue. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have one set of bones in the breast like that, and these will be the fizz bones, P. And we're going to create a second set of bones that sit on them and move with them, but that are constrained so that they can't rotate. They can move up and down and side to side, but they won't be able to rotate. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. You know what, let me check out, before we get too much further, let me make sure I have the latest version of VRChat, because I know that in the latest version, they did introduce, or one of the latest big updates, they did introduce VRChat constraints. Loading. It's loading right now. All right. Loading, loading, loading. Sent. Perfect. Heck yeah. Well, I will take a look, probably 30 minutes or so. Did it update? Cool. Okay. Latest project updated. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. God damn. Hello, Funkin. Welcome. All right. So let's take a look at our new constraint system. Create an empty. We call this constraint test. And let's look up constraint. So now we have these. Aim constraint, look at constraint, all these. I'm just going to start with parent constraint. The view from here is spectacular. Holy moly, geez Louise. There we go. Rebake offsets when unfrozen. Oh, these are interesting. Freeze to world, very cool. Solve in local space. Target transform. The transform this constraint will be applied to. Leave this blank to apply the constraint the transform this component is attached to. Cool. That is very cool because that means I can put my fizz bone and the constraint I want to use outside of the actual skeleton, which always makes things easier. So I think I can just use a parent constraint. And what we'll do is we'll add into the spine an empty object right here. And we'll call this constraint target. All right. And then on the fizz bones here, we'll add a parent constraint. And the source will be that object we just made. Wow, there's a lot more here. Giving a warning on my character in Unity that says something about the angle between pelvis and thighs not 180 degrees. Do you know how to correct this? So for my avatars, when I'm uploading them, I generally get well, I don't see it now, but usually I get a similar issue. Really, you just want to upload and test. There's a few ways you can test. First would be to just upload. Second, you could go into your FBX. So this is my FBX file here, and I have it selected. And in the inspector, you can go to Rig and Configure. And then there's a Muscles and Settings tab right here. I would suggest just reviewing this clip in case I go too fast. But in here, you can use some of these settings to kind of see if the legs are working properly and make the character do a little funny dance. So that might give you some insight into whether or not your character's legs are generally working. Grooving. Still getting 2 warnings. Can't generate blend shapes. Oh, that's fine. In fact, I still have a clip on the mesh body, but I'm going to get rid of that. And then a polygon is self-intersecting. We'll have to find that. Okay. Those are all fixable. So solvable, fixable, solve a fixable, solve a wobble. Get rid of these. Thanks so much. I will try it out. Sounds good. Another great tool. Sorry, I didn't go through all the options, but the avatar managers here, tools, avatar manager allows you to test things in Unity in play mode for VRChat. To get those, you just want to go to your creator companion and make sure you have them installed. Av3 emulator and gesture manager are two emulators you can use. And to use them, you just add them to your scene and hit play. Saves you a lot of time because uploading, if you upload to VRChat to test, it's going to take a lot longer, unfortunately. In the polygon mesh, okay, so that's in the body. Polygon is self-intersecting. It is self-intersecting. So for this one, let's do that. Easy enough. For these ones here, See if that helps. Thank you. Just tried moving the muscle unit. It looks like everything is working correctly. Hey, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. So there are a few other things that can go wrong if you're using full body tracking. If you're just using standard VR headset, standard desktop stuff, you should be fine. But just in case, one other very common issue if you're using full body tracking is your hip bones and your pelvis should form a triangle like this, where the root bone, the hip bone, is above your hips, and from the side is also a little bit behind your hips. So kind of an odd thing, but you want this kind of shape. If you ever are in VRChat and your character's spine is flipping around like this, or the other way, where it flips up, does kind of this curve, the spine is super, super curved, then you know that's the issue. Sorry, 1 second, everyone. All right, the skirt here. I'm going to separate these really quick. Slap on a weighted normal, apply it, and recombine. Just because it looks way better. Yeah. Subtle, but really improved. Okay. It's fine. Good. Fix that air. What was I testing? I was just testing everything, right? Oh, the breasts, that's right. We're looking at the constraint. So this seems pretty straightforward. I think we're just gonna go ahead. Take the breast, because we added the constraint to the breastbone. And for our breastbone, the Y direction is the one we want to freeze. So actually, I'm going to go back to the breastbone. I don't think we need a parent constraint then. I'm just going to remove that and add a rotation constraint. And it should only freeze the Y. And again, that source is this one here. And activate. I'm going to copy it and paste it. Activate. Play. I use my own slime VR FB trackers. I will try regulating the bones in Blender and export it to Unity again. Okay, heck yeah. Well, good luck with your testing, and I'm always here if you have any additional questions. All right. This constraint here needs to be applied to both bones and we actually did not apply it to either of them. That looks wrong. Let's see. That's a position constraint, so let's undo that. Take the breast and reset. Nope. Not reset. What do I do? Revert. Okay. Okay, so let's undo these. Delete. Remove component. Remove component. Try that again. Make sure we put in the correct thing. Rotation constraint for this target. It's too heavy there. Boom! Fucking crack on the ground. And all right, lock. Or let's say activate. Okay, it didn't explode. Good. We'll do another for the second bone. Of course, it didn't do anything. Keep forgetting to add something. Didn't explode. Another rotation constraint. We're targeting the let me open both. Because we need to make sure these two, there's two slots we're targeting. Let me start this from 0 again. Rotation constraint. We want the source, which is the constraint target. We want to target just the y-axis of the first breastbone. We're doing the left breastbone right there. Activate. Nothing exploded. Actually, something did explode. Source. This bone. Okay, that breaks it immediately. So let's undo that or solve in local space. Nope. Okay. Revert. Try that again. In every rotation constraint video I've watched, personally talk about like they're defusing a bomb. I can never remember what not to press. Lol. It is a bit like that. Yeah, it definitely feels a bit dicey. They're both pointing the same way and basically have the same rotation. This should work pretty well. Now this time I'm saying solve in local space in the hope that that helps. I don't know if it will or not. It really should make a difference, actually. I want to leave it unchecked. Make sure we're only freezing the y-axis. Save. Activate. Okay. Okay. Then we will add one more for the second breastbone. Wait, like this. Okay. Activate. I was going to hit play. Okay. I feel like it's still rotating. I can't. No, it's not. Comparing, like you can see how much more the left breast is rotate, or sorry, technically the right breast, but the left from our perspective, how much more it's going side to side versus our other one. So I do think it is working. We just need to recreate the same thing we've done, VRC rotation constraint, with now the right breast. Okay. I'm just doing this very slowly to ensure I am hitting everything in the correct order. Because yes, I do agree with the sentiment that it is like diffusing a bomb. That is what it feels like. I did this wrong again. This one goes here. This one goes here, and 8. All right, save, play again. We're still getting some clipping. It does look like they're still rotating, which is a bit of a bummer. Did I do it right? Perhaps the Fizzbone needs to be after the constraints? For physics debugging. And hello, Risa, welcome. We're messing around with the new constraints and seeing what we can do. Because we want to prevent the breast from clipping, which does not seem to be preventing it. So let's do a little bit more research. So looking at our bone here, we open up the documents, we don't get anything. Great. All right, VRChat provides its own custom constraint system. What I want to know is, how do you play with the Fizzbone? Let's not say. I have my salvation for this commission. My client gave me permission to modify the avatar itself and fix the whole mess it has. Well, good. Do not have a constraint and a Fizzbone component affecting the same game object, as this causes execution order issues. Apply the constraint to the parent game object instead. Still have the source transform the constraint set to the original game object. All right, then I do think I'm back to my original idea, which is simply having two sets of bones. We'll have one set of bones for the actual physics and another set of bones that match them except for the Y rotation values. So going into here, what we want to do is turn on our D form, go into edit, select this one, select all of these really, duplicate them, invert, and hide so I can look at these. So these will be CC breast to fizz underscore fizz. Okay. Boom. Okay, so now we're exporting, going back to Unity, and we now have a second set of bones. Now, the second set of bones are misspelled. So let me go back one more time. Let's see. So, which one's this one? Let me just grab it, find it in here, my selection. And now we're just looking at the fizz bones. I put the number in the incorrect order. Ugh. There we go. Back to Unity one more time. Okay, now these are named correctly. And we can change our fizzbone script to target these new bones. So we'll just drop that there and this. Here. So now we have fizz ones actually targeted. Cool. I'm going to remove the rotation constraints from these because it's a little confusing. Okay. Then we'll make a new object here. Or, no, I'll make a new empty, which we're going to call constraints. Okay. This will be breast L con breast L rotation constraint, and that's the wrong type. We want our fizzbone or VRC rotation constraint. All right, and we want our breast1.l to copy the rotation of breast one phys.l, except for the y. Activate. Cool. Then we will do the same thing with the second bone on the breast. Breast 2, targeting breast phys 2. Right there. What? Wait, maybe the physics wasn't even on. Oh, makes me want to go back and check. One second. Let me turn that back on. Go back to Bizbone. It doesn't matter too much yet. We're just gonna do one breast. This one. And add a rotation constraint. And copy doesn't really matter. Target transform, I want you to control this one, which is the same one as that one, yes. And your source is a constraint target. And just activate. Okay. So now it's zeroed out. Play. All right. Then interesting. Press 1.l. Targeting press 1.l. Do I turn down this constraint? Okay, they do seem to just actually conflict then. Should at least have some movement right now. No. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It is moving. Wait. Just moving up and down though. Yeah. Let's make sure. Turn those off completely. The other test is I should be able to move the constraint target and see if it's moving or not. Breast L, that's the left breast. They both should move. We have the VRC constraint, which is constraining all movement here. This is all movement, all rotations. So play again. To me, it looked like it was just moving in general, which it shouldn't at all. We shouldn't be getting any movement. That is what we want, funnily enough. I mean, not that odd position, but if I turn this down, or sorry, take the constraint target, rotate it, go back to the constraint, turn down the weight. Okay, so we can see that it is indeed blending between those. Interesting. This is like a smooth blend, and this just tells it which one is it listening to the most. Okay. But we still do get movement, which is actually not what we want. We don't want any movement. We should be able to, for whatever axis we want, turn off the movement completely. Okay, good. So we are going the right direction, which is using a second set of bones. Good. Let's remove this. Go back to our constraint system, turn everything back on. All right. So now we have physics on a set of bones for the breast that's just for physics, doesn't deform anything. The actual deforming breast bones are going to follow the physics ones on every axis except the y axis. So it should not rotate, it should just move. That's it. Sure seems like it's still rotating to me. Okay, so maybe the real problem is in here on our deformed bones. What? I mean, this axis looks pretty good. That looks correct. So let's actually turn on constraint. All right, so that's wiggling. And then if we take the constraint and turn it down, does it move now? No. Okay. That's good. So we are heading the right direction. Hmm. That's interesting. These rotation values are very different though. Wait, never mind. They are not very different. It's like I must have clicked the wrong thing. Or just because it's highlighted or something. So they're the same. Good. Rotation values are the same. We're going to switch this to... Oh, maybe this one wasn't activated. But we're going to solve in locals. That shouldn't matter. They're the same direction. And that is just obviously a side-to-side motion, which is precisely what we want to avoid. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because the original bone is here. And it's simming fully, so it rotates. Even if the new bone doesn't rotate, it will still move to the side because the positions are offset. So that could be working, I think. All right, well, let's try it for the other breast then. So we'll do breast R. Turn off activate. Set it to the next one. This is breast R. No, that's right. Okay, good. Breast R. So it's affecting this component here and here by listening to this component here and here. Say activate and activate. Because they should still shift, but not rotate. Yeah. Shoot me. The this bone here is targeting the new bone. Too many words. Struggling or not, I'm in the same boat as Commissioner Hot, but we'll find a way, won't we? There's always a struggle with every avatar. Can't escape it. It should work. I don't know why it wouldn't. Why don't we try a parent constraint instead of rotation? Hello, Ori. I was recently working on a base avatar which will not be named. But good lord, the topology was a nightmare. Yeah. Even if it's a perfect avatar, working on someone else's avatar is always a challenge. Just the nature of it. Different thought process. All right, we're gonna do breast L again. So we're animating this one by listening to this one. We're doing everything but rotating. Doing everything but rotating. Do the same for this one. Moving this one by listening to this one. We're doing everything but rotating on there. Activate. Okay. Try this again. Why is the weight 0? Well, I wasn't doing that before, so I'm going to take that as a good sign. No wonder I such developed tools for editing avatars and mostly understand those avatars, which to be honest makes me feel so much better about my topology. Well, good. Definitely want to feel confident in what you're doing. Hey, that looks better. I think. Still see a little bit of clipping. Why is it still rotating? Son of a bitch. My bones are in the correct order, right? Yes. Roy. Hey, more. If you were to estimate how long it would take you to create a complete VRChat avatar, usually 2 to 3 weeks, but I'm changing the estimate 3 to 4 weeks, so like a month. Just because I'm taking on a lot more work. I am very confused right now. We're freezing the position axes. Maybe I have to go the other way. Maybe I have to... It's not enough to tell it, don't copy this. I have to tell it, you should be this. So we have these parent constraints. They're going to move with our main system, and then we're going to do one. Well, we're going to do two. We have 2 rotation constraints as well. This feels a little bit over the top, but I don't quite know what else to do in order to ensure it just shouldn't move. Like, stop moving. Stop moving. So our target transform, again, will be breast L, but our source will be the constraint target. And we're going to listen to just the y-axis. We're going to... All the sources are turned up. Activate. Do that one more time with the second breastbone. Here, listening to this one, and max volume. Activate. Okay. So this time I'm saying move with the breastbone, but then also we're going to override everything you do afterwards with the rotation. It seems like it's moving quite a bit to me. I don't quite understand, obviously, but hello, Patolino Burr. Welcome. How you doing? Actually, let me put those back. And then also undo the rotation here. So rather than saying, assuming it's going to override, say, you don't control this, you control that. It should not be rotating. Should not be rotating. Okay. Okay, insight. It says it's not. It says it's not rotating. So perhaps that is the wrong rotation to pay attention to. Okay. So let's go back to our constraint system. I'm going to get rid of these rotation constraints. Or I take that back. I'm going to remove the parent constraints. Well, just the parent constraints. Just leave those. Oh Lord, come on. Thank you. Question, to test the avatar well, why don't you use the gesture manager? Right now, I'm not testing anything, the gesture manager, that I wouldn't need the gesture manager to test the fizz bones. I do have it in my scene. If you look at my hierarchy, once this loads, it is in my scene. I accidentally opened Visual Studio. Okay. I don't care, Visual Studio. Go away, Visual Studio. Edit script should not be the first option there. Just saying. All right, so apparently we're probably freezing the wrong rotation axis. Let's try undoing the X and Z this time and see what happens. Okay. I think that's closer to what we wanted. Yeah. No rotation, just translation. And that means our clothing and our objects will never shear. But that also makes me want to test one more time if I need to have a second set of bones. Ugh. I have to know. I don't want to have an extra set of breastbones for no reason. So I'll put that there. We will then go to our constraint. And then use our rotation constraint to remove. Oh, how's translation different from rotation? I'm a little lost. Any guys' question? Is it, you mind repeating it, Sam? I'll repeat. Translation is position, as in movement. Changing the position of something is translating it. Rotation is just that, rotation. Exactly, yeah. Translation, you keep the orientation the same, you just move, and then rotation, you spin. So, so translation is position, editing the position. Now, for Patolino Bar's question, I don't need to use the gesture manager to test the fizz bones. So if I was going to test toggles, then I would use the gesture manager. It is in the scene, so I can use it whenever I want. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so constraint target one more time. Or no. This one goes here. This one goes here. And we want to, this time, freeze everything but the Y. Or is it the other way around? We'll find out. Doesn't matter. Activate. Easy enough to change. Test in a second. Okay. So translation, avoid the clipping by strictly moving in a single axis at a time. Technically only two axes. I don't mind if it rotates up and down and moves this way. It's when it moves forward, backward, and rotates. So kind of odd, but I'm not getting any movement. Correct, basically. Well, technically the Y, I would assume the rotation would have been the Y-axis. This one. Oh, of course, I'm not on the local selection. No wonder I'm confused. Okay, yeah, so I wanted to freeze the Z rotation. Jesus. In Unity, Y is up, but locally, every bone can have its own orientation. Well, sort of. They can be twisted. So the constraint is here. The breast is like this. So I want the constraint. Well, let's turn off the rotation first. Source, rest, one, freeze. To freeze the Z rotation. Okay. Activate. The next time, what I messed up was I had my visualization for the global rotation. I should have had my gizmo was showing me the global rotation, not the local rotation. That's where I went wrong. Okay. So this should work, and this should be a lot simpler because it's just a single rotation constraint instead of two parent constraints. That would be preferable if it works. Kind of. Nope, we want parent constraints. Sure. All right. But we're zeroing in on the ideal setup. And it does seem that VRChat doesn't care if you're targeting the same bone, which is good. Parent constraint. No, then we do need separate bones. Yeah, okay, so this is fine. Remove this. Remove this. Set this back to our fizz bone here and turn back on our constraint system. All right, so this is how we work. We have two bones for the breasts. It's probably the only bones we'll need to do this with. Hey, you know what? Actually, sorry, one last thing. If I only constrained the second breastbone, then that would still work, because then we'd get the full movement, but the front breastbone would not move. Yeah, because we'll still get the position movement side to side, but not the shearing motion. Okay, so that's it. There we go. There's the ideal setup. We can get rid of our extra set of bones. Perfect. Forward. So rotation constraint just for the final bone. What we want. Get rid of this constraint system, go back to Blender. We can select these bones, delete them, export the whole thing again. All right, I'm going to go a little bit later than I usually do. Wow. Um, talk about a nipple twister. What's that? Purple nurple? I forget what it's called. All right, we want the constraint target there. We want this setup where we have our constraint on the Z. We just want to do that for the other bone as well. Perfect. And It's going to take me a while to remember to use the correct system. And what's nice is I do have control over the influence. So this is just when the shirt's on. I really only want this to happen when the shirt's on. And when the shirt's off, I can just change these values. What is the name of those animations in which the character rotates in the Z-axis blender just to show it to a client, or to a portfolio? I forgot the name. Usually that's called a turntable render. No! You're lying to me. They look different. They look different. This bone, Rustar. They are different. They are different. That. Would be that there. Please tell me. I don't have to redo it again. They're not highlighted, so they should be in their original positions. They don't look like it, though. It looks like one of them's been moved. Can't move my... Yeah, it has been moved, for sure. With that. All right, so that's one of these then, doing that. But would it be? No. Okay. They're both getting moved. Okay, it must have been because I had the constraint on it and then got rid of that other set of bones. Did not like that for some reason. There we go. Okay. Then we had them back for the 8 millionth time. Now the big question, are you planning on making a turntable for this avatar? Probably not asking to show it to some friends because the avatar is way too amazing. I want to share it. Haha, right? Definitely not going to do that. Well, thank you. I do want to make sure that I am taking the time to show off the avatars that I'm making. That's very important. So I will be doing something to that effect. Definitely some sort of visualization, promo kind of deal. You know how that goes? We're like, absolutely, absolutely, I definitely will. And I appreciate you saying that. Ooh, I do want to get more eyes on the work that I'm doing. Yeah, I got to. Yay. Okay. That took longer than I thought it would. But we're in business now, baby. And they just look like they're in clothing, actually. That's interesting. Wahoo! 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 It took a while. Damn. Now to note down everything you just did. Thankfully, it does fit with my system quite easily. I usually just make a fizzbone object that adds fizzbones to the bone. And all I do is add a rotation constraint to an immovable object, in this case, the constraint target. And I just tell it not to move on whatever axis I don't want to move. If I had just seen the visualization at the very beginning, my little gizmo, that my gizmo was incorrect, I would have been done 30 minutes ago. That's how it goes sometimes. Pain. Pain! Okay. I think I'll go ahead and end it here. I just wanted to make sure I finished. Now it really does look like they're being restricted by clothing. Good, good. I hope so. I think, because what's fun is, so just to show you all the difference now, why that work was important in a more visual way is, so now, right now, when I move the character, you know, they're moving, they're jiggling. But if I go to the breastbones, we turn down the weight of the rotation constraint and do that again, you can see that they flip. They're literally slicing, the clothing is slicing through the body. No good. So then we turn back up. There we go. It took me a long time to realize that that kind of thing can't really be solved with weight painting. Like, weight painting can get you 95% of the way, but then that last 5%, it's just like your bones actually have to be able to not do certain things or need to be constrained. Like, that's the final ingredient for perfect weighting. All right, it's 5:14. It is time for me to go ahead and end my stream. Thank you all for hanging out. If you're interested in a commission, head over to samdudder.com and reach out to me. I'd be happy to work with you making an avatar. Or if you're interested in learning how to make avatars, I do have mentorships available on my website, samdudder.com. But thank you all for coming out. Hope you're having an amazing day. Goo! Hello, Goo. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. And thank you. Thank you for your outfit. The drawings you've been doing have been great. Looking forward to seeing more, both for the commission and then also the Kickstarter. Super excited. My bones are ungovernable. Have an awesome break. Thank you. Same to you. You all have a great rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow for Tuesday, and we should be getting into the final stages. We're in the home stretch now for Shimo here, so really looking forward to polishing her up, finishing her up, getting her over to the client. Trying to wrap my head around how you did it, Lol. I'll go over it sometime. I'd be happy to send you the bones at some point. Thank you for the stream. See you tomorrow. Sound. Thank you. Thank you, neighbors. Thank you all. Love you all. See you soon. Goodbye, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, y'all.